And it's a good afternoon to the Gelding. There's wet weather on the horizon. What do we expect to be happening at Flemington tomorrow?
Good afternoon, Professor, on this Friday, and afternoon to the listeners. Um, yeah, a bit harder today, picking at 3 o'clock on a Friday, where it is absolutely black outside my place at the moment, Caulfield South. Don't know what it's like, Professor, but out your way, but you're going to cop some weather, and I think Flemington may get a fair bit of rain today, tonight, and tomorrow. So, working on a wet track.
Well, plenty of shades of grey out this way, Gelding. Before we start the program, though, we should say, as we always do each week, we want people to subscribe to the channel because they not only get the pearls of wisdom from you and I, Gelding, trying to help them maybe improve their financial position, but also they get to listen to the dulcet tones of the giraffe, aka Paul Daligan, talk rugby league with me.
Oh, well, Professor, do you think, look, as you said beforehand, the Delegan show with yourself is just going gangbusters with listeners, and we're lagging behind. So, I'm not going to compete with the giraffe. Otherwise, you wouldn't get a word in. But at least we give the listeners something they can have a bet on and possibly make some money. Where I don't know, does Delian make a money, or does they just listen to him for the entertainment value?
Well, it might be the entertainment value, perhaps. But I thought that we're very entertaining as well, Gelding.
We try to be, but yes, I won't compete with the giraffe. Even though I think we're waiting for him to take us out, aren't we?
We are. Anyway, subscribe to the channel and also press the like button. We want people to like this program because that helps us. Now, Gelding, before we start on today's tips, what a great weekend it was for GM Racing last weekend.
Oh, fantastic.
50% win rate, 75% rate on both Saturday and Sunday, and the Professor's win and place parlay was successful. So if people were following us last week, they certainly ended up on the right side of the ledger.
100% place rate on Sunday, wasn't it?
Apologies, yes, 100% place rate.
So the all-up place parlay turned out very, very good value for everyone. So hopefully they followed us, and Professor's parlays both got up on Sunday. On Saturday, I should say, because you didn't have a crack because you wanted to protect that 41%, didn't you?
Well, I was disappointed in myself, Gelding, because I had one penciled, and the one I had penciled actually got up.
Oh dear! So we could have been 45%.
We could have been.
And you're putting it at risk this week.
Oh well, we've got to, don't we?
Well, why don't this risk taking and your profession go together?
No.
Oh. So okay, I look forward to you risking the 40% mark this weekend. On whether there could be, well, I'll just say a warning to
doubtful.
Well, yeah, we're working on a heavy track, but we're not exactly sure what we're working with at the moment.
No, but anyway, like you said, it was a terrific 50% win rate, 75% place rate on Saturday, 100% place rate on Sunday. So it was a terrific weekend for us, and we look to do even better this weekend, Gelding. Races are at Flemington, a 9-race card, the first at 11:55 a.m, the last at 4:34 p.m. The feature race, now Gelding, why is the feature race race 5? How ridiculous is that? We talk about this week in, week out, but the Vobis Gold Mile, 3-year-old and above race over 1,600 metres, it's got the biggest purse, so that's got to be the feature race, doesn't it?
One would think so, Professor, and not in the leagues of the quaddie.
No.
Well, as we've said many times on this, you keep asking me questions to justify Racing Victoria and racing committees. There is just no logic to it. Surely the main race, normally on an eight-based program that used to be race 5 and 7, if you're going to have 9, shouldn't your daily double be race 6 and race 8? And
Well,
wouldn't you make
that's how I was brought up, Gelding. Like that was seemed to make sense back then.
And wouldn't the main race be the first leg of the quaddie and race 6?
Yeah, or it could be race 8. Could be either.
Could be either, but anyway.
But it could be either, but it's neither.
It's neither, but unlike race committees to look after themselves, is it? Maybe their free choice of red wine might have taken stock by then.
Oh, that's very cynical, Gelding. Very cynical.
Very cynical. What, haven't seen that done?
I think we've observed that over the years. And one thing that arrives, the Melbourne Racing Club renewal came in the mail. They always get that one in early.
Very much so. Yes, I did see that. I did see that hit the email list. Yes, so interesting.
Very expensive membership for going once a year, Gelding. That's me, not you.
Yeah. It's very expensive to go to the races when they triple everything, but they give you one free beer occasionally.
Okay. Well, I better be in for that. Anyway, Gelding, the track is a soft 5. As we said, showery conditions tomorrow. Pay attention, see how it looks after the first. Make decisions as the day goes on, we would suggest. The rail is out 8 metres, which really means we probably don't know much about the speed map out there, Gelding.
Professor, I'll be looking, as you said, a soft 5. I'll be working on around about the 7 or 8 mark, I think, with rain. And, of course, what we say is if it rains during the races, the horses tend to cut it up in the earlier races. So I'd be looking for horses probably down the middle of the track. So, something with a soft run that can get out and look for that W next to their name. I think there'll be a few scratchings overnight, Professor.
All right, Gelding, what are your 2 best bets for tomorrow's racing?
Well, I'm going middle and late in the day, Professor. Going in the main race of the day, the Vobis Gold Mile, 175,000 3-year-old and up race over the mile. Look, a favourite horse of ours, which we've backed before, sticking with it, Jimmy the Pair, race 5, number 3, trained by Patrick Payne, ridden by Tommy Preble. This horse coming back from a spell. This seems to be about the class of Jimmy the Pair, getting ready probably for the Winter Championship. One last start at Caulfield over the mile. Second up, first up at Caulfield, was beaten 1.3 lengths. So it's in good, consistent form. This track, it's had 8 starts for 2 wins and 2 seconds. Round the distance, 12 starts for 4 wins, 2 seconds. I think we'll get a good run for our money with Jimmy the Bear, Professor. Hopefully sit midfield and be within striking distance and getting round about the $3 for it at the moment. I think with scratchings it might come in a bit. So I'll be looking at that and probably looking at it. Might say it's probably the bet of the day, Professor, depending on how much rain we get. Has one at the distance, one at the track and one in the wet. So all those features for me goes race 5, number 3, Jimmy the Bear. Then I'm going race 7, Professor, horse number 13, Limerami. Was that how you pronounce it?
Limerami,
yeah.
I think it might be a Western Bulldog supporter.
Limerami, yeah. Race 7, number 13, trained by Robbie Griffiths, ridden by Jai McNeil. Won its last 2, Professor. Been placed 5 of the last 5 starts, carrying 53, expecting rain. This is a horse that's won in the wet. thought long and hard about the top weight in this one, Professor Nonconformist. Caulfield Cup place getter, has the class against all of these horses, but was just a bit worried on a wet track with 59 kilos. It's got 62 with an apprentice, Luke Cartwright, claiming 3, bringing it into 59. I just think that might anchor it if the track's in that 7 to 8 range tomorrow. So happy to go race 7, number 13, Liberami, Professor. And you like?
Yeah, Gelding, I'm going early because of the track conditions that I'm thinking that they're going to be. First selection's in race 2, the Brendan Dreschler handicap. It's an 1,100 metre race for 2-year-olds, open class. I like in this one, Gelding, horse number 2, Miss Ollie, coming out of barrier 10. Lightly raced. It's only had the 2 starts for a win, so 50% win rate and place rate. Third start tomorrow after a last start win at Sandown, Gelding. And it won over one of the threats, Espana, beat it by a length and a half. It likes to give in the ground because it won in the soft conditions, and the results have been on slow track. So Benny Allen's in the saddle. He's seventh
on fire.
Yeah, he's you're right, Gelding. 12% over his career, but over the last 50, 18%. And let's team him up with a trainer that's also on fire, Clinton McDonald. He's really going places.
Yep.
13% for his career. Gelding, over the last 50 starts, 28%. That's incredible.
Yep. Look, they found form. Lost a couple of horses, Clinton McDonald, to the Wallace stable, but Ben Allen's just been sitting on things, and just while some of the leading jockeys are away, and we're minus our top 4 tomorrow, he's just been on fire. So, when you think jockeys not riding at the meeting of Blake Shin, Craig Williams, Mark Zara, Daniel Stackhouse, Ethan Brown, Jamie Mallam, Damien Lane, Michael D, all these jockeys are away. So Ben Allen's just on fire at the moment. So, I like it, Professor.
All right, my second selection, Gelding's in race 4, the Victoria Sprint. It's a 3-year-old race for over 1,100 metres. I like in this one, number 4, Soft Love, coming out of barrier 12. Had 4 starts for the very impressive 3 wins, Gelding. 75% win rate and place rate. Its only lapse was at Scone, or is that Scone?
Scone.
In a listed race.
With the cream and with the raspberry jam and the strawberry jam.
It didn't get the cream and the raspberry jam, Gelding. When it turned up, the cream and the raspberry jam had all gone.
Well, a question without notice, Professor. I know with your cooking, you like your chips and the chicken double cooked.
Yes.
Do you have double cream, or would you just have single cream with your scones?
Well, if double cream's available, it is.
You whip up the double cream?
Yeah, you'd pop the double cream on, Gelding.
Oh, I like it, Professor.
All right. There was a good run at Caulfield in April for this one in an open class race. But as I said, it lowered its colours in a listed race at Scone last start. But it's back in open class, and it's won over the distance as well. I saw the comment in that Scone race, Gelding, that the horse got into the wrong part of the track. Well, that'll bring you undone, as we've seen in recent weeks with some of the horses we've selected, Gelding. They've been in the wrong part of the track.
Yeah, Professor.
So we hope it's in the right part of the track. Harry Coffey's in the saddle, and you're talking about all those jockeys who are away. Well, Harry Coffey is on fire in the country. He's ridden 60 winners in the country. He gets his start, or he gets his chance again in Metropolitan ranks tomorrow. So he should go well. And Matt Laurie, he's in career form as a trainer, 14% over his career, but 20% over his last 50. So he's doing very well as well. Good odds at $3.10 and $1.55. So my 2 for tomorrow, Gelding, are race 2, horse 2, Miss Ollie, and race 4, horse 4, Soft Love. Now let's turn to the successful Professor's Parlay from last week. At Caulfield, we had Neonce. Very good selection,
Yes.
very astute selection, may I say, Gelding.
Yes.
And we parlayed that into Greater Western Sydney to beat Richmond. And we're on the edge of our seats with that one, Gelding, let's face it.
I was very envious position last week. I was barracking against the Professor's parlay there for a while, and I saw a worrying text from you about halftime when I did answer back to say, "Don't panic, Richmond will find a way to lose it," and they did.
And you were right.
Yes.
Yes. And we parlayed that into Geelong to beat West Coast, and perhaps I thought that Geelong might have won more convincingly, Gelding, but let's face it, a win's a win, and it wasn't really in doubt in the last quarter. So
They did seem to coast, didn't they?
Yes,
And
they did.
they'd only put the foot down the last 15 minutes when, yeah. But anyway, good result for GM Racing, Professor.
It was, Gelding. So the win and place parlay paid a total of $23.30, so a very nice return. We're now 10 from 24, Gelding, which is 41%. So we've got the chin up over the 40% bar, which is very, very nice indeed. Beautiful,
Professor. I'm sure one of our listeners, Freddie Hogan, will be very, very happy with the Professor's parlay getting up last week. So we say well done to Brett, but also Professor. Now you're going to put. How will this bring the percentages? If we get it, will it take it over 45%?
Good question, Gelding. I'll leave that till next week. Let's not count our chickens before they hatch.
I'm confident.
You're confident. All right, Gelding, this week's parlay, the agreed bet of the day is race 5, horse number 3, Jimmy the Bear, for all the reasons that you mentioned in your summary earlier on. And we'll parlay that. We'll go GWS playing at home again, Gelding. GWS to beat Port Adelaide. GWS 7th. They've won 7 from 12. They've won 3 out of their last 5, Gelding. So that's a pretty good form. Port Adelaide, 15th. Now, they weren't expecting to be in 15th position, and they haven't been travelling all that well, Gelding, so they can't kick a score. That's their problem, and they allow nearly 100 points a game in defence. So, listen, if the orange tsunami gets going tomorrow, yes, it's going to be a very long day for the Port Adelaide defenders.
Well, that seems to be the magic figure, doesn't it, Professor? If you can kick 100 points, you normally win the game of footy. So if a side's letting in an average of 100 points, it means they're not winning many games.
Exactly right, Gelding. And let's parlay that into the Queen's Birthday match of the day. Melbourne playing Collingwood. We're going for Collingwood to beat Melbourne, Gelding. Collingwood on top of the ladder. They've got the fourth best offence in the AFL. Their defence is very miserly. It's the best in the AFL, Gelding. They only allow in an average of 67 points per game, just over 11 goals. Melbourne, well, wayward kicking, 721, Gelding. When's 721 ever won a game?
Oh, exactly, Professor. I think wayward kicking cost both our sides last week.
Yeah, Gelding, and Melbourne allowing 90 points per game. That's borderline on, that's why they've only won 5 out of 12. If they had been allowing fewer points, they probably would have won more games. So Melbourne 12th. Look, I can't see them straightening up their kicking, and let's face it, they would have to have a perfect day in front of goals to trouble Collingwood. I think Collingwood will probably win easy.
Well, as you said, Professor, the defence of Melbourne isn't even though you seem to have similar players, it just doesn't seem to be performing as well as it did in the premiership year of 21, where Melbourne was renowned for its tight defence and then the spring off that defence into attack. But, yeah, as you said, no one's in better form than Collingwood at the moment.
No. So the parlay tomorrow, Gelding, is race 5, horse 3, Jimmy the Bear, into Greater Western Sydney to beat Port Melbourne, into Collingwood to beat Melbourne. So there we have it. There's our racing program for the day.
GWS are playing Port Adelaide, not Port Melbourne.
Oh, did I say Port Melbourne?
Yes, I think they'll cover Port Melbourne quite easily, wouldn't they?
Well, that's another one we could take, Gelding.
Yeah.
GWS to beat Port Adelaide, Collingwood to beat Melbourne.
Beautiful.
All right, Gelding. Well, one last reminder, don't forget to like the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And we'll look forward to seeing everybody again next Saturday for That's Racing. And until then, it's good luck.
And good punting.